Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. TIFU by sleeping with a married woman. Yeah, this was actually last week. I don't know what to do, I just need this off my chest. It started out as a normal beer with friends last Friday. We always go to the same pub to start, sometimes stay there all night. It's a cool pub which only plays heavy rock/metal. If you're sick of chart music or pop, it's a great spot to hang out and play pool. We got there, I paid for a round of drinks for us, and we started out the night smashing Metallica and Sabbath on the jukebox. The friends I'm with have other friends there who I'm less acquainted with, but I know of their faces and vaguely their names. So as we're drinking and picking songs, a few girls walk over to my pals with the usual "Hey, how you doing?" etc. The woman I'm talking about is one of these friends, and introduced herself to me. She was nice, tomboyish, quite good looking, and I had fun chatting with her. She asked me to put Bruno Mars in this pub. The first red flag. A few more drinks into the night, we get bored of the jukebox and head out to the beer garden to smoke and chat some more. I immediately noticed wherever I sat she would pick the seat next to me, and sort of lean in. She would get really close. I thought, okay, cool, she seems interested in me, maybe this could be a good night. I told her I was staying with my buddy and his girlfriend at their place since my car was already there. She's good friends with my buddy's girlfriend, so she blagged staying over there too, and we all got a taxi back together. We got back and continued drinking/partying together. We were all really drunk and the flirting was less awkward at this point. She was cuddling into me on a sofa whilst we all chatted. At some point, around 3 a.m., she pulls her phone out and says, "Wonder what the hubby's up to," and I was like, "Wait. What? You have a husband?" To which she replied, "Yeah, for 10 years. This was just a stepping stone in the duck up." I asked her to come outside and chat about it, saying like, "WTF are we doing?" She explained the relationship had been dying for years, they live separately and it's not even a real relationship anymore. I don't know what I thought about this, but I kept the flirting up as this calmed me a little bit about the situation. Eventually we end up in bed together and had sex. It was awful. I don't think we were compatible in that regard, but I tried my best nonetheless. I didn't want to be labeled a shit shag or whatever I'd. So I wake up the next day pretty early and leave saying thanks for hanging out etc, but I gotta get home. I thought an okay mistake has been made, but we'll just leave it at that. After all, her marriage isn't going well and will inevitably end. And here comes the duck up. She found and messaged me on Facebook, something along the lines of "would gladly let you throw me around again 30", and I clicked on her profile. My duck and heart dropped. I instantly recognized the pictures of her husband, and they looked so happy together, at least online they did. The husband is someone I used to smoke weed with and chill with a lot, through second-hand friends. We had the same dealer and would chill at the dealer's house for a couple. This happened weekly for nearly a year or two, but we never really knew each other past that. All I can say about this dude is he is really a great person and I enjoyed his company. Sometimes he would talk about how his wife is being crazy and distant with him and it made him sad. I ducked up, guys. I need to tell him, but I don't want to hurt anyone, but it's beyond that now. I followed my cock and this is where it's landed me. FML. TL, drive. I slept with a woman knowing she has a husband. I thought it was a failing marriage, but turns out I used to hang out with the husband and he's a really great guy. I'd never met the wife before this night. Now I don't know what the duck to do. Edit. Okay, so everyone seems 50-50 on telling the husband or not, but I'm honestly leaning towards telling. I'll update if I do or don't. I need to plan this. Also thanks for the wholesome awards. Lol. Edit 2, alright, I'm gonna tell him. I'll report back tomorrow night, UK time, with an update. Edit 3, update. Edit, for anyone wondering, I've asked mutual friends and everyone is safe, don't worry, including me. I thought it was a failing marriage, but it turns out I used to hang out with the husband and he's a really great guy. Both can be true, unfortunately. Came to react to this. You can talk to the dude, talk to the girl, or neither. That's your three options. Well, no, there's a fourth. Since you have friends in common, you can try to glance at info here and there to corroborate her story. That would give you more to go with. If she didn't lie to you, and they do live separately, there's not much you can do, but whether or not you continue seeing her for easy, bad sex is your call. On the other hand, if she lied to you, you might want to consider your implication and options differently. HDH. One thing that got me, why would she decide to check up on the hubby at 3 AM if they were living separately and there wasn't much of a marriage anymore? An awkward way to bring the topic up, so her conscience would be clear, to the extent that is possible, I suppose. People can sometimes find very weird and convoluted ways to communicate something they don't feel comfortable with. Either way, it seems like Op did talk it through before the sex, and proceeded with it nonetheless. So, either she lied, or Op made a mistake in judgment. Emotional ties with the dude he helped her wrong should not be relevant here, or it was discussed and agreed upon, tacitly or not, before the act. In my experience, the trauma of being cheated on does not come from the sexual act, it comes from the domination combined with the denial. Otherwise said, if the hubby was fooling around with other girls, enjoying his life, and fully able to have sex whenever he so desires, it would be a completely different picture than a resigned soul waiting for the love of his life to come back to an absolutely exclusive romantic relationship, aka monogamy, and eventually agree to have sex with him. Ducking weird to call your estranged separated partner the hubby. But yeah, probably right, she had to bring it up somehow. He takes cocaine and so does she. It sounds like that's the only time they talk properly to each other too. I've been speaking to some friends about their relationship as I decide what to do. Seems worse than I initially thought. There really is only one thing to do. You have to have sex with her husband. So you're saying two wrongs do make a right? No, wait, stop encouraging me. No, but two dongs do. Best way to get over a lover is to find another. Good luck. Duck, you know when the first comment in a Reddit post is not a snarky remark or a half-decent advice but just good luck, shit's ducking real. My fiancée cheated on me, she did so with a co-worker. She told a mutual friend what was happening and he didn't inform me of the situation. I feel seething hate for the guy who helped my ex-fiancée cheat and the mutual friend. Tell the husband now, how the world may crumble but at least someone told him. I had to find out on my own and now I can't trust anyone for a long time. The husband deserves to know if their partner is cheating. It ducking blows. We are supposed to be adults in this world. If you wanna sleep around then ducking, leave your current partner and be a damned adult about it, and for future reference don't sleep with a married person if you can help it. One day you might have to deal with someone doing it to you, so the least you can do is help someone out. Completely understand. About half the girls I have ever dated cheated on me. Most recent ex got pregnant and tried to say it was mine. Trust is a really big wall at this point. Wow, thank you for saying this. It's hard to get ducked over repeatedly without either losing faith in humanity or yourself. I just experienced a recurring pattern with a potential partner, not cheating but something very specific and abusive, and I'm like WTF? Thinking I somehow did something wrong and maybe all this time it's really been me bringing this on myself. But no, my only issue is that I've obviously established a pattern of letting too many red flags go without just walking the duck away. It's not you. It's them. I promised myself after the last dude that after red flag number 1 it was non-negotiable, over and done. This time, I saw and knew and let it slide and right away the rest showed up. It just takes one. Walk away when the first one shows up. Their actions are a representation of their worth, not yours. TIFU by sleeping with a married woman, update so. Hi guys. I got a lot of DMs. I tried to reply to most but struggled. You either hate me or emphasize the situation, I get it. It's a topic that's going to get some emotional responses. Either way, thanks for the advice. Let's get on with the post. All last week I had been avoiding responding to the woman in question, putting it off for a day or two at a time. She was pretty insistent on making it happen again, and it only added to the guilt. A day or two before I posted, she had messaged me. X has sent you a photo. Still got cold feet? I saw the message previews and ignored it until last night. I didn't know what to respond and got worried about opening it. It was exactly what you'd think it was, a provocative picture. I just thought to myself, oh, duck. After thinking for a while, I responded with, listen, I've said my piece on it. I don't feel right about this situation. I already feel guilty and I can't see how this will end in any way other than tears and me getting my head kicked in. This didn't really faze her. If anything, I think my lack of response / pushing her away fueled her more. She kept saying it's my problem, not yours, which I understand but also disagree with. Pissing a guy off is definitely my issue too. I said to her that I just can't do it, and I think we should come clean. She had a weird response. It was like she was opposing what I'm saying, but also trying not to annoy me. Like, she was trying to be very nice in how it was worded. I understand, but I can't do that, it would hurt him. I just responded, it's a little too late to avoid getting hurt. If you want to do it then feel free, but if not, I am going to myself. She came back with, I can't deal with this shit and I can't do it. Please don't tell him. I haven't replied to that last message. More have followed and I haven't opened them. She's blocked now anyway. So, I got the husband's number from our mutual friend. I called him up and said, hey mate, can we meet for a beer? I have an important thing to tell you. I'd rather do it face to face. He seemed to understand it was important and said I'll be there as soon as possible. We actually met at the same pub. I bought us a beer and went into the smoking area to talk. Hadn't seen him in a couple of years, so it was a strange meeting in this circumstance. He was as friendly and nice as I'd remembered him. Always smiling. We sat down and I just fumbled for a good 2 minutes. I am quite stuttery at the best of times, so I kept messing my words up. It was mainly anxiety hitting me. He had a quiet, calm look on his face. Just waited and watched me. As the fumbling went on, he interrupted me and said, I can see you're nervous, just finish your drink and say whatever you need to say as soon as you put your drink down. So I did exactly that. Necked my beer and said I had sex with your wife, but I didn't know it was your wife until after. She played down the relationship and said you aren't even living together. I'm so sorry mate, I ducked up, it was a horrible mistake, something along those lines. He sat there, looking slightly pissed, for what felt like an eternity but in reality was 5 seconds at most. Don't live together? Confused face, are you ducking serious bro or are you taking the piss? I proceeded to show my phone, the messages, and explained her demeanor throughout the night. I even showed the Reddit post. It was awkward for a good 10 minutes while he quietly analyzed my phone and took screenshots / photos. I didn't know the entire time if I should talk, not talk, I just didn't know how to behave in that situation really. His hands were shaking and he was visibly getting more and more angry / upset. After he took all his evidence, he stood up, threw the remainder of his beer in my face and said, next time go duck yourself instead you stupid cunt, and threw my phone across the beer garden. He went to walk away, turned back around and slapped me in the face, ducking hard. I got ready to fight in case he carried on, but he just glared at me for a few seconds then walked back inside. As I was picking my phone up, he popped his head back into the beer garden and said, talk to her again and I'll snap your legs, ducking cunt, then promptly left for good. I imagine going to go have his argument with her. My instincts tell me if I hadn't asked her to stop straight away in the messages, he would have knocked me into next week. From memory, I've seen him in altercations with other people. Arguments at least, on behalf of our shared friend. He was never overly angry, and relatively calm. So for him to publicly slap and throw a beer over someone, he must have been very angry, understandably so. This is with CCTV everywhere in that place. I must say, in conclusion, I feel slightly better. I feel better saying I've told him than when I'd not told him. However, I still feel like shit still. That hit home. That showed me how real it had become in someone else's life, which I was a part in creating. I feel manipulated by her slightly, but more so guilty about the husband. I won't be doing that again. TL, drive. Woman wouldn't stop messaging me. I said tell my husband or I will. She said no. I told the husband, got a beer poured on me and slapped, and my phone was thrown across the beer garden. Also threatened me about contacting her again. Realistically, it could have been much worse, but I still feel terrible about it all. In response to a query as to what mutual friends have said. I didn't realize, but she'd been messaging mutual friends all week asking if I'm okay and why I wasn't responding. They said he's moving all his stuff out and wants a divorce. Apparently she's trying to say I was lying but didn't know he had all the pictures of our chats etc. and got called on it by the husband. Seems like a bit of a mess ATM. I commend you for your bravery and honesty. I think the guy will thank you in the long run, just not personally. However, your second TIFU was showing him the Reddit post. His wife humiliated him and then you posted about it on the internet. And whilst it's unlikely anyone will identify him from your post, he will be feeling paranoid AF about it. The additional humiliation he would have felt reading the Reddit post was probably what earned you the slap. I ducked your wife and told the internet about it. And Reddit gave him a wholesome award. WTF. He probably noticed the wholesome award and decided to throw his beer atop. Actually, that's a pretty good perspective. It was just to show that I had a moral dilemma, and also evidence was typed out for him, but yeah. You could be right on it, adding to the hurt. You must be somewhat young. The moral dilemma is your problem, your cross to bear, so to speak. Showing him all of that, including the Reddit post, is a bit much. You're basically wrecking his world to absolve your guilt. I'm not saying you should lie to him, but clearly the Reddit post was for you. Why show it to him? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He was going to be mad either way, but then posted the whole story for the world to see. Third duck up was doing it in person. Prioritize safety over that friendship. Someone who just found out they got cheated on is more likely than not going to lash out, and having the actual physical person there that represents the end of his relationship, even though it's not Op's fault. Op should have definitely done a phone call or something. Also, the husband could have had his first reaction in private with no one watching to sort his feelings out. On the other hand, who knows, Op might have been in more danger being in private. I was thinking of a text message explaining the situation. Ducked your wife, MB lol. In moments like this, I see lol as an emoji where a person waves his hands in the air. Ducked your wife, MB lol, yeah, high five. Seriously, this is the main duck up. Why would you need this to be in person? Why would you break it to him like I ducked your wife? This is just painfully awkward and nonsensical. I mean, he gave some pretty good context. I feel like this is obvious. He felt really bad and wanted to be as genuine and accountable as possible. At least he had the character to do that, even if it might have been a misguided decision. I don't get this argument. He posted it on the internet, yeah, but he did it anonymously. Any of these three people could be next to me on the bus tomorrow and I'd have no idea. Who cares if it got posted online as long as there are no identifiers? You think they are the only couple with one lying to the other and everyone knows them? Reading it on the internet is very different from face to face. He may perceive this as betrayal twice. I clearly said, and whilst it's unlikely anyone will identify him from your post, he will be feeling paranoid AF about it. To the husband, every little detail will seem significant. He will be ruminating on it and worry that people will suss it's him. In reality that's highly unlikely, but that's not generally how people think in times like this. It's easy to say that as an outsider with the full perspective and clarity of mind, but to be told your wife has cheated and also thousands of people read about it, anonymous or not, and it is immortalized online, it must be hard to swallow. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.